Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The monodrama is, as Fred said in the beginning of the meeting, it's project number 3 from the Advanced Communicator Manual, Interpretive Reading, and is clearly the most difficult evaluation I have ever delivered. I wasn't even sure what a monodrama was before today, so here we are. And the monodrama that Arnie chose was Tennyson's Ulysses. And what a monodrama is a form of interpretation where a person tells or acts out a dramatic story and assumes the guise of the character that he or she is interpreting in their reading. Arnie skillfully portrayed the character through vocal variety, hand gestures, and also wonderful facial expressions that I can never remember unless you practice and practice and practice to use, things as closing your eyes, looking upward. He gave us the impression that he knew his character very well and the material that was presented. This project asked that Arnie not look directly at the audience because that would probably bring you out of character, I'm assuming, that you want to stay with your character in the reading. And if you didn't notice this, he didn't look at any of us the entire time. He was either looking at the reading or involved in one of his facial expressions, and so he was very successful. As listeners, we were instead, as the project had intended, overhearing something that we may or may not have been supposed to be hearing. Arnie performed this monodrama beautifully, personally, and as if we weren't even in the room, and I thought that was very impressive. One of the improvements I have for this project would be to try to memorize portions of it. It's very difficult, but I wouldn't say this to any other Toastmaster, but I know that Arnie's absolutely capable of doing at least portions of the reading, having memorized it. This could have allowed for an additional prop or something that could have been added to this interpretive reading of the selection that he chose. The last thing I want to comment on, because it was really so hard to come up with, you know, what is the purpose and what am I going to comment on to make it better? This was very advanced in terms of a speech to me. Was that the use of voice, gestures, and body movements were so effective. I really did get drawn in to the character and caught up in the reading from just his use of pauses and the way that he moved around just this area right here. And so I would say that was just wonderfully well done, and I enjoyed this new speech I'd never seen before very much, so thank you for bringing it to the club, Arnie.